This is exciting as 19,000 Black Ops 6 ranked play cheaters have been banned. Take that, cheaters. Tom Ivan over at BGC. Ranked play launched on November 20th and is accessible to players who have achieved at least 50 wins in multiplayer. The game's publisher detailed this progress in combating cheaters in an update post on X. It said there has been over 19,000 ranked play bans. Michael, this is a big thing for you, right? You're in here all the time. How many years have you experienced?
I would say, now I'm usually more of a Warzone guy. Haven't been a big ranked play guy for the last few Call of Duties. I've hopped in here occasionally. But I would say I'm usually getting 1 to 3 a day, right? I'll report somebody when it looks a little fishy, and then usually the next day when I log on, I'll at least get 1, seen up to 3. Thank you for reporting someone. We've taken action against their account. So, yeah, about 1 to 3 a day at least in Warzone. Now, I will say the big problem with this, and a lot of people have talked about this, and this, I think, is causing some of the controversy, Drew. Kill cams in Black Ops 6 are completely just janky right now. You don't always see what actually happened. And so there's definitely been times where you see something like, this is obviously, this guy's hacking, right? You report him, you don't see anything, and then it turns out it's like, oh yeah, on his kill cam, he did this, I saw something different. They kind of get spliced together, and you're like, okay, that makes sense why it's so weird. So that part is a little strange, but no, I appreciate this for Call of Duty. I've always been on the boat though, Drew, right? Call of Duty, especially where there's a KDA, just set like a limit, right? And I'm not saying like 4, I think like the KD 10, right? We already know the best players in the world have a KD of 2 or 3. If you have over a 10, you're out, like, especially over like 5, 6, 7 games, you're probably cheating, right? Like, nobody's coming in, dropping. I remember seeing stats of guys who have KDs for like 25 across 10 Warzone games, and you're like, no. Nobody is dropping 25 kills and 0 deaths across 10 straight games, even the best players in the world. So I've always been very upset about how Activision handles this, but I'm finally glad. 19,000 bans, Drew. Thank God they're finally doing something. I know Ricochet has not been popular, but at least they're finally doing something. I can appreciate that.
It is one thing to figure it out, right? Like we were talking, that's who we were talking to just not too long ago was Novak from Team J to upcoming title Delta Force, right? I said, what are you doing to combat cheaters? Because it is just, to me, it blows my mind that you're cheating. And if you suck, you suck. Dude, I suck. Like, I'm not the greatest in multiplayer games. I'm horrible. This is why I don't play Black Ops multiplayer, right? Because I know I'm horrible. But it's one thing just to cheat, to make yourself look better. Really, at the end of it, you're not that good at all. So you don't get an advantage of it, right? But it will never end is the biggest thing. But yeah, over there at Team J, they're looking at combating it too because they know it's such a prolific problem in the gaming space. It is something that everything needs to be solved, figured out one way or another. Every multiplayer game, dude, has some kind of cheater. I'll never forget Fall Guys. We're in the very last round where all the cones are dropped, like all the little octagons, they're dropping. Dude is floating. I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, you can't, right? Cheater, he wins, of course, because he's not the one dropping through the floor like everybody else is, because he's cheating. So, yeah, good on them. 19,000 already, and this is just the beginning, right? They're going to continue to keep going. They're going to continue to keep pushing. Michael, is there anything else you want them to kind of make sure that they take care of while they're in there at the same time?
I've always been on this side. I think they are kind of taking a bit at that. VPNs, especially in a game like Call of Duty, I almost call that softcore cheating, right? There's a ton of videos, right? You set up a VPN, you're guaranteed to have like 10 ping, right? And in a game like Call of Duty, if you have 10 ping and somebody else has 40, you're going to win all 99% of the time unless you suck, right? So I've always been like, we need to crack down on VPNs, and they have been doing that. They say further on that they've been trying to combat that. If they detect you're using a VPN to try and jump to a different server, you're like, oh, look, if I maybe go over to, I'll take a shot at your country too. If I go over to Canada, the players are worse over there, right? So I'll VPN to Toronto, and then I'll have a little bit easier of a time, right? And I absolutely hate that, so I'm super glad they're cutting down and combating that, because like I said, that's softcore cheating to me. That's almost as bad as paying for cheats, Drew, and they're taking care of it.